Hi, this is Michael at TV Radio 1972, and on Wednesday, April 19th, 2023, I reached 2,000 subscribers. Now, that was about a month ago at the time of this recording, but nevertheless, I want to thank everyone who has watched my videos and subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it very much. And on this 2,000 plus subscribers edition, I am reviewing the CC Observer Emergency Radio. Is a AM FM weather band hand crank portable emergency radio that I bought for $36 plus tax and shipping used on eBay. And I was interested in this radio because it looked like the CC Solar Observer that C. Crane makes today. They still do after all this time. This is the predecessor. And I did a little research on Internet Archive, and C. Crane's archive websites showed it as being sold around 2008 to 2012. And they actually came in three colors, black, green, and blue right here. So it's the predecessor of the CC Solar Observer. Now there's differences, of course. The main differences being that this one is pure analog tuning, not DSP, although I've heard good things about the DSP tuning of the Solar Observer. And this one does not have a solar panel, so that's the other main difference. Right now, I'm going to do some size comparisons. The Sangean DT400W. I can probably fit about 3 of these on here. And the Motorola Atmos 800. Now, I reviewed this, I think at least 4 years ago by now. But this has an internal rechargeable battery, but it also has an option for dry batteries, 3 AAAs to be exact. This one operates on a replaceable rechargeable battery or 3 AA batteries, in all cases replaceable. And I want to give you the dimensions. 7 3/8 of an inch in length, 5.5 inches in height, and 2 1/8 of an inch in depth. It has a 23-inch antenna. And based on the speaker grill, the speaker is probably around 2 inches. This was a little over 2 inches, so my guess is a 2-inch speaker. Now, here's what's on the radio. You have this switch here. You have a light, a flashlight here. Not too bright, but acceptable. And then you have your dial light here, which is very neat. And then your off switch. So you have that. That's very neat to me. Then you have your power and dynamo lights here. Then you have your AM and FM dials here. 530 to 1710 for AM and 87 to 108 for FM. And then it has a tuning wheel here, very smooth. You have your FM AM weather switch here. Then you also have your off battery dynamo switch here. Now, here you have your off and then battery. This operates via the 3 AA batteries, and then the dynamo is used for the rechargeable battery. So you can operate it in those different ways. And then you have your speaker here. Like I said, about 2 inches. CC Observer logo here. And then you have this pretty neat weather dial here. You click on each channel and you can get access to the 7 weather band channels. And then your volume wheel is right here. Now on this side, you have your power generator hand crank, and has quite a bit of resistance. As a matter of fact, this seems to be a very good quality hand crank, and that is used to power the rechargeable battery. On the bottom, you have a couple of rubber feet here. On the back, you have this antenna here. If you extend it up, it swivels part way. It's 23 inches. It has your C-Crane label here. CC Observer, made in China. Tested to comply with FCC standards. So, you have a vanity case here. And then, you have this hinged battery door here. Now, it holds the rechargeable battery, but there's an option for 3 AA's. Now from this angle, the top batteries, the positives, go right on the 2 batteries, and then on the 3rd battery, the positives go left, and then the rechargeable battery. Now, I'm using a aftermarket battery because the original battery, according to the seller, needed replacing. I cranked it a little bit, and there's still a charge for it, but it didn't light the dial or the flashlight. But here it is right here. Nickel metal hydrate 2, 3, AA, 650 milliamp hours, 3.6 volts. This aftermarket battery is only 600 milliamp hours, so that's the difference. And I actually got that today at the time of this recording. And then we go here. You have your flashlight, 3 LEDs. Headphone jack, headphone experience. Well, there's no low level hiss. However, the volume, there's still a slight bit of volume even at the lowest level. You know, I turned this all the way down and there's still on both speaker and headphones a little bit of audio. It's not really too much of a nuisance, to tell you the truth. Then there's the old school phone charging jack here. Now, I don't know if this came with another accessory in which, like the CC Solar Observer has. I think it has a attachment where you can use USB connections on there. I don't know if this ever did. And then there's your battery pack charging jack, 5 volts. And it looks like it is a center negative here, at least according to this diagram. And that is used to charge the rechargeable battery. And let me see what else. On top, you have this carrying handle. Looks like a pretty good quality here. I mean, for a radio that's approximately 15 years old, still holds up to this day. And then I'll put the radio back down for a minute before I start tuning the bands. And we'll start with the weather band. Now, weather band reception, I will say it's very good. I mean, if I can get both my KZZ31 and KWO35 in my area, that it's a good weather receiver. And we'll just show it right now. Now, I got a faint signal of WXL37, but I had to hold up in a spot to get it. But if I can even get that channel, it's a good weather receiver. Now, the antenna is very directional, so it's very spotty in spots. From this spot, it's not that great. From other spots, it does well.
Sunday night, clear. Lows around 50. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, sunny. 5 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Wednesday, northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Wednesday night, north to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet.
And that's it. Channel 5 KZZ 31 Harriston, New Jersey, and Channel 7 KWO 35 New York City. I mean, Channel 7, I get it in the clear, so it's a good weather receiver. Now, next I'll go to FM. And I'm going to tune in the FM band. It's smooth analog tuning. A bit directional as far as getting FM reception. So sometimes I kind of have to fiddle around with it a little bit. Now, here's one flaw with the FM band. There seems to be imaging on the lower part of the band before I get to WNYZLP. So there's a little imaging, like that's WBLS, New York City at 107.5, but it's imaging down towards 87. Now that's where the stations begin. The dial light shows very good from this camera angle, so I guess I'll leave it on. I mean, that's coming in very well. WNYZLP at 87.75. The audio channel is 6. So far so good for the FM.
Gilbert's either.
And so if you've got two bills or two statutes that conflict in that way, oftentimes the later in time rule will serve to reconcile.
I think this is WNYE 91.5 New York City. So yeah, parts of it down, not too accurate. That looks like more like 92.
No way to interpret a particular.
Outbound Pulaski Skyway in Jersey City.
There's 1010 winds on 92.3. See, it's around 93. So yeah, dial accuracy at times, a little iffy.
45 minutes. Newark Bay, better play either way.
But it does have a good sound.
Outbound side at least 45, and back in New Jersey.
State mounted strong opposition campaigns against the bills. For NPR News, I'm Dana Ferguson in St. Paul.
WNYC-FM New York City 93.9, that's NPR.
Last night he was 87. He broke records during his relatively
No, Mom.
No perdonaste después de eso.
Neil Gorsuch fue a sus colegas por una decisión previa que permitió mantener la política.
W248CG, Jersey City, New Jersey. That's a translator from 10 miles away. Coming in good.
Recito toda esta...
Let's say the Guardian.
But yeah, so Evan, so
WFAN-FM New York City 101.9.
The wild card game.
When he's with you, lying.
Does it end?
That freak. Right around town, yeah, you know.
That's WDHA Dover, New Jersey 101.5. It's coming in well here.
Tomorrow.
And that's it for the FM. I'll put the antenna down and then give you an FM reception report. Now, on FM, I got about 50 stations, 42 okay to good and 8-week signals. And that's what the flaw is about the FM, a little imaging around the bottom, but also the selectivity. So if you're going to look for first adjacent stations, yeah, that you're not going to be able to get. But second adjacents, you should be able to get most of them. I was able to get most of them. So, to me, it's pretty good on FM. Maybe not like a premium, like my XH Data D808 or Texan PL660, or Eton, but for an analog dial, it's pretty good if I can get 50 stations on the FM. Now let's go to the AM. Now, I'm doing this during the day because currently there is a faulty street light next door to me, and right now I can't seem to listen to AM at night. The signal would go good for a while, but then RFI noise comes in from that faulty street light. I've called about array and nothing's been done about it yet. So that's why I'm doing this review during the day, so that I can at least show you the AM band in action. So it's like in and out the RFI at night. It only happens at night. It doesn't happen during the day. So that's why I'm doing this during the day. That's WBWD Islip, New York, about 50 miles away at 10,000 watts during the day. It's coming in well. So, that's the good part about this receiver. Now there's a bad part to it as well.
You have to be pretty careful.
This station here.
Go.
You know, Ty, and I'm Polish, so obviously.
That is actually imaging or overload from WABC in New York. But the transmitter is only 4 miles away from me. So this 50,000 watt station is actually getting on parts of the band. And that's a flaw with the AM on this receiver. And in a way, it's kind of disappointing that whatever filters they didn't put on this, it's on parts of the dial. But to its credit, the AM is good for locals, so the locals will come in good, but don't expect a DX with this.
Countries. Do the Chinese...
40 years later, Moses began to overcome...
Like WMCA 570 New York, it comes in well. All the locals come in well.
So easy.
Wait, I'll tell you, I know...
democracies, once riled up as a
And those are school in Riverhead when she realized a kindergarten student.
WCBS 880, New York City.
The chicken nuggets. He was turning blue.
I started performing the Heimlich maneuver. So
26, honey.
He was going high speed.
There's 930.
Or any stupid nuclear
970.
Free towing and car rental options at no additional cost.
1010 wins.
To address as people and as
1050 ESPN.
The Vestibular Disorders Association.
WLIB New York City, that's the gospel station. Now, WMTR 1250, that was one that I actually struggled to get because in some spots, WADO 1280 would overtake it, and in some spots, 1190 WLIB did. So, that's a problem with this receiver. You have to be in a certain spot to get certain stations, even semi-locals. Although it's good in this spot.
Which is why I'm saying, watch out, be vigilant. There's so much more to say there, but I'm going to turn it back.
WNSW 1430, Newark, New Jersey. Relevant radio.
Talk about, and where we are too. Just one more
WGHT 1500, Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. That comes in pretty well.
Bundling and saving with Geico.
A special thank you to CVS Pharmacy,
A proud founding partner who shares.
Here's another station, 1600 WWRL. It pretty much swamped my low-power local 1560 WFME. I mean, I had a hard time getting that station because of, look at how much WWRL swamps.
These worried Americans are in different realities. The Black Information Network is 24/7.
Although, at night it lowers its power, so it doesn't affect the band as much.
West after midnight. Wave
1640.
Then around 2 feet.
1660.
You said that, and so we said, okay.
Again, WABC. That's actually an image of WABC around 1700, even at night.
To have a strong USSR.
Thank you for your patience. This is radio station WQFG 689, owned and operated by Hudson County, New Jersey.
Yep, WQFG 689 1710 AM, and even that struggles a bit against that imaging of WABC. So, here are my thoughts about the AM. Good for locals. If semi-locals are strong enough to get through, you can probably get them. But during the day, distant stations, forget it. The more powerful stations will just swamp. So the selectivity kind of lacks on the AM. Sensitive, yes. Selective, not so much. As a matter of fact, during the day, I only got 28 stations. 22 okay to good, and only 6 weak signals. And most of those weak signals I had a hard time getting. Trying to, turn the radio like this. It was very spotty on the weaker signals because of the stronger stations overcoming it. Now at night, got 48 stations, which is not so great. Once again, I'm in an area with a lot of local, powerful stations, and that selectivity just overtakes even some of the weaker. Although, I was able to get some distant stations at night, depending on how spotty, but once again, I had to turn the radio at the right spot in order to get some of these stations. Although towards the top of the dial, it was a little easier. But the lower part of the dial especially was harder. But as I got to upper frequencies, it got a little bit better, but not by much. Especially the more powerful stations like WABC. I did not get Zoomer at all. I didn't get 740 at all at night because 710, 770 just overtook it. But then I was able to get CHML, which is between 880 and 930, which was fine. WBZ I had a hard time getting in spots because of 1010 and 1050. So my point is selectivity is lacking, and that's why I only got 48 stations. The majority okay to good, 27, 21 weak signals, so it likes to latch on to some of those stronger stations, and it's a little easier at night than during the day. So my final thoughts on this receiver. Overall, I like it overall because I like how it looks. Has a nice look to it. I like the blue color on it. I like that the weather dial, the weather band, and the FM band perform well. It's the AM I'm a little disappointed in that it's really not a DXing radio. But if you only listen to local stations, then that's good. I mean, it's good that it gets local stations, and in emergencies you mainly need local stations. You don't really need distant stations, but it would have been nice if the selectivity was better on this. But otherwise, I'll give it a thumbs up anyway. I'll give this radio a thumbs up. Now, I'm not going to rate it because it's a used radio, but I do plan on keeping this radio because it is good for local stations and it gets them well. And on the FM, you can probably get some semi-locals on FM as well. It does a better job on FM. And it does well on the weather band. So, it has some good points. I like the fact that the hand crank is very sturdy. I like the fact that both the AA batteries and the rechargeable batteries are both replaceable. I think that's a positive out of this as well. So overall, thumbs up for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And feel free to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notifications to be informed on my latest videos of radio reviews, DXing, and other stuff. So have a good weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Have a happy 2023. And God bless. Bye-bye.